What do we talk about today? Whew, this is gonna be fun. You haven't updated your LinkedIn since like the early 2000s. So find ways to build that into your, that was a quick, plug-in for LinkedIn. Hey guys, hey. Yeah. Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Lulu. Oh, you saw some leg there. Hey. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lulu and this is episode 2, and today's more of a story time meets a combo of, branding and giving you an idea of what I'm about. So, a few years ago, I worked for a startup, and that wasn't the first startup that I worked for. I think I've done 3 or 4 so far at this point. And this one was really special because it was a friend of mine, and it was like grassroots area. It was like a relaunch of the entire business. And it was quite a process. I didn't even know what my personal brand was while trying to build the company's brand with the rest of the squad. And it didn't make sense at the time. But now that I look back, I see why it was necessary for us to really understand who we are and what we were doing as a company, but also as individuals, because we were all very unique components of the company. And I've seen now that you need to have something unique about you that you bring to the company for it to be part of your personal brand. I found myself putting in a lot of energy into the company's brand without putting much into my personal brand. And that didn't sit so well with me because I realized if I was going to convince anybody to be part of this, journey, or even give us projects or anything like that, I would have to have some type of value to show them, and I would need to have a brand as well. So they'll need to know me as an individual and not just a portion of the company. And that was where the branding came in. So fast forward to like last week, just about, 2 of my faves who are like soul sisters to me because we've known each other for so many years, and they've seen me from like the baby, fresh, wet behind the ears type university student all the way to the woman I am now. And they asked about branding because we all kind of had dabbled in it in our university days, and they wanted to know how they could go about it. So one of them is dealing with a complete career rebrand. Like, she's completely switched industries. And then the other one is trying to relaunch her blog, which she started 2 years ago but never really got around to it. So they both were asking the same questions, and it's funny that they all happened at the same time. That's how I felt. Okay, let me make a video about this because this is crucial. How do you go about rebranding or relaunching your personal brand? So I'm going to tell you 3 things that I feel would be very helpful for you. First off, you need to rehash your why. Why? Because you need to establish what it is that you actually want to do and what you want people to know about you. So they need to understand what you're all about, why you're doing this at all. But this is peeling all the layers back. It's more about you. What do you want to establish with this?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
Then the second thing is to build your brand guide. How do you go about that? Well, you need to have some type of system. Like, there is a process. I know we hate the process of having to do, okay, hate is a strong word. I know we don't like the process of having to establish like list upon list of things that we need to do for our personal brand, but you need to do it. And I'll link a few of them in the description so that you have an idea of what helped me to rebrand. And that's how the KAIKO brand came about, because I felt like I needed to reestablish what I was trying to do. So it's going to be quite helpful if you know what the why is and that you actually build the guide so that it's easier for you to work with. And the third one is, honey, sleep on it. I'm gonna explain why. I've seen this happen so many times. A client will come in and say they want these 3 colors, and those 3 colors look great on Tuesday, but come Friday they'll probably change their mind and say, nope, it looks terrible. Oh my goodness. And the frustration, if you have ever felt somebody who's very clienty, that's what we used to say, like, why are they being so clienty? Oh my gosh, just pick something. It's because they didn't take time to actually process what they really wanted. In that moment, they were running against a deadline, or
I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late.
it became a whole mess. So I say, sleep on it. Honey, you may love the color pink today. Shout out to the color coordination. You may like the pink today, but maybe tomorrow you might want green, and then the day after that you might want blue. So you need to decide which color you're sticking with, which style you're going with, and it's okay to change your mind, but it just needs to be authentically you and something that you actually want to get done. So sleep on it, honey. It helps a lot. I remember reading up on Arianna Huffington's, I think it's the sleep theory. I've forgotten what it's called, but I'll probably throw it up anyway.
What is good for us on a personal level? What's going to bring more joy, gratitude, effectiveness in our lives, and be the best for our own careers, is also what is best for the world. I urge you to shut your eyes and discover the great ideas that lie inside us, to shut your engines and discover the power of sleep. Thank you.
So we use that, and you get to see why sleep sometimes can be very helpful in helping you make decisions. You need to suss out what works for you, but in terms of branding, I really think sleeping on it does help a lot because you get to establish what you really want. Tomorrow, if you still like it, you're going to go forward with it. If you don't, you're probably going to switch it up. Either way, you're probably going to switch up your brand because rebranding does happen quite often, especially when you feel like there's a new direction you're going in. That's when you'll probably bring in the rebrand. So those 3 things definitely would help. And this is also a note to my sisters as well, so that they know that Blue's got you and we'll be able to help you out. And when I say we, I mean the KAIKO brands. I'm just trying to, be all professional and third person-y. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say today. I want to keep it sweet and to the point. And most of the advice that you're going to get from me, it's probably because I've tested it out and I've noticed what actually works and what doesn't. And this is how I came up with my personal brand, the KAIKO Media brand. And it's because I felt like I needed to be in a place where I could be global enough and still be very specific to whichever environment I'm in. So whether I'm back in Africa, whether I'm in Australia, whether I'm in the US or in Europe, either way, it still feels like I'll be able to give as much value to whichever client I'm working with because they have an idea of what my personal brand is all about. And as a general description, the main thing is to trigger creativity throughout any medium that the client or anyone that I'm working with or collaborating with feels they need to get into. So that is why I know with what I'm doing right now, it's going to be very easy for me to jump into a new project and help someone out because they already know what to anticipate when it comes to working with me and the personal brand. So yeah, just a quick recap. Rehash your why. Build your brand guide. Sleep on it and you'll be good. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys liked what I had to say. And if you feel like I left out any points, feel free to throw them in the comment section. And who knows, that could turn into a whole other video. But also, if you feel like you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. I do make videos every week and I'm trying to build more on the vlogging side of things so you can see what my everyday looks like. But until then, don't forget to comment with what your earworm of the week was. Mine is Gold Link featuring April George, Rough Soul. Such a vibe.
Shout out April. Yeah. Alright.
See you next week.
Yeah. Had to go to LA for the one I had to vibe out. Just caught a charge, had to hide down.